Nick, tell me about you, the businessman.
Nick, the businessman, was in industry for 25 years, most of it, if not all of it, in operations management. And my background is basically in engineering and business. And the lessons that I learned, I now apply to the consulting business.
Now, you mentioned 25 years in this industry, when normally the shelf life in this industry is about around 15 years, give or take. So what do you attribute your success to?
I would think it's attributed to three things. Number one, with our clients, we have a trusted partnership, number one. Number two, we offer our clients services that are up to date because we continue, myself and all the policy management consulting group associates, get at least 120 hours of professional development a year. So we're able to offer cutting edge material. And last but not least, we follow up. We ensure that the products and services that we offer meet the customer's targets over a specified time.
You mentioned customer service, but what are some other reasons that organizations continue to use your service?
Well, I think organizations use our service based on referrals, quality of offering. In terms of what the investment amount is, I think we offer a good quality product at a reasonable investment. And last but not least, results. They get the results that they're looking for.
Where are your clients from?
Well, if you would have asked me that question 25 years ago, I would have told you that most of our clients are from the private sector. Because 25 years ago, 95% of our clients were from the private sector and 5% from the public sector. As we speak today, it's about 60-40. 60% of our clients are from the private sector and 40% are from the public sector.
Has there ever been a time where you had to separate your company from a rather difficult client?
Yes, twice. And all the years we've been in business, we've had to make that decision twice. And I've made them both times. We felt that with two of our clients, they had some hidden agendas, as I would say, and I thought that their intentions were less than honest, and we decided to divorce ourselves from the engagement. So, to put it another way, we fired our clients.
Yeah, I guess you would have to, if that's your brand, and you're representing your company and the person who you've hired on, would have to make sure that they follow some sort of guidelines?
Yeah, well, if our name's on it,
yeah.
We have integrity. We have credibility with the public at large, the people that we serve. We don't want our names associated with people who have a hidden agenda or are not being moral or ethical towards their people.
Let's talk about the workforce. How has it changed or even evolved over the years, today compared to yesterday?
Well, the workforce is different. The workforce today is what I call the cherished generation. These are people that are coming into the workplace now where it's family, friends, work in that order. Their expectations of the employer are very high. They expect to start off at a higher than normal salary, which, I don't blame them for. I find that the workforce today, they have an expectation of their boss or of their company that organizations haven't been prepared to deal with until now.
Okay, here's a question. How would you describe the future leaders?
I would say that the future leaders have to be more vertically integrated rather than horizontally integrated. And let me tell you what I mean by that. A horizontal integration is leaders that have a certificate, have a diploma, have a degree. They're very wise, they're very smart in the ways of solving what I will call program problems. Vertical integration, vertical leadership are leaders that are much wiser in the ways the world works outside of their job environment. And what happens in the external world that they have absolutely no control over impacts the way they manage their day-to-day affairs and lead their people, which, in other words, dictates how they deal with the challenges that face them.
Okay, now let's talk about the challenges. You just mentioned there's some that they're going to be facing, but what are they?
Well, some of the challenges that leaders will face are things like volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. The world today is much more volatile in terms of, in our manufacturing base, we do a lot of exporting to the United States, Asia, Europe, and so on and so forth. In other words, Canadians do not consume everything we manufacture. Well, when that happens, we are now at the whim of challenges that those countries are facing. So it's a volatile environment. Uncertainty. There's a tremendous amount of uncertainty as to technology, and the people that are using our products today, will they be using our products tomorrow? And what are the changes that have to be made in order to accommodate the customer? Complexity. People today are more complex. The challenges that they face are more complex. The challenges that they bring into work are more complex. And we as leaders just can't turn a blind eye to that and say, well, it's a personal problem, I'm not going to deal with it. We have to deal with it.
Yeah, because our personal life does dictate what our day's going to be like.
Absolutely,
at work
it does.
Or not. Now we talk about training leaders of tomorrow. Are your sessions cookie cutter, or are they actually personalized towards that company and individual?
Our programs are more personalized towards the organization and to what the organization wants to meet. So it's customized training. We don't do a lot in the area of cookie cutter. Now, I'm certain there is some overlap whereby you may take something and put it into your customization. But what we do at the Policy Management Consulting Group, we'll work with our clients to determine where they are right now, where they want to be at a specific point in time, and how they plan on getting there. We will give them some options, help them generate some options, and then we will customize the training program to meet their needs. And we will also customize benchmarks along the way to make sure that those needs are getting met.
Okay, so now are you teaching the program and that's it, or do you have a follow-up?
We have a follow-up. We follow up on everything we do. We just don't go in and offer our clients a training services and leave. We offer them a consulting service which overlaps with a partnership. It's in our best interest for our clients to succeed, and we can help them succeed if they know where they want to go. You know, if you don't know where you're going, any road gets you there. So you need to know where you're going. You have to have a plan.
Okay, now let's talk about the mediation part of your business. Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, mediation is something that that we got into approximately a year to year and a half ago, in terms of bringing two parties together to try to reach a conclusion that's workable for both sides. And it dovetailed quite nicely into what we do. In our area of operations management, we currently have customized programs on communication, on negotiation, on conflict resolution, on emotional intelligence, on neurolinguistic programming, those types of things. We can put them together in mediation.
So give me some examples of mediation that you have.
We do mediation in labor and commercial, mostly in labor. So you may have two parties. You may have an association or a union disputing a company decision or a supervisor's position. We have enough trust with the association or with the union as well as with the company that both parties agree to bring the Policy Management Consulting Group in to help mediate that process. So what we do is we go in there and we try to mediate the process and meet the needs of both parties in a professional and efficient way.
Now let's talk about mentoring. Obviously, you go in and you mentor our leaders, you mentor people in business, and do you have a mentor that you talk to?
I do. I think all successful business people ought to have a mentor. My mentor is a gentleman by the name of Derek Nowakowski. Derek lives in London, England, but we came up through the management ranks together, and he's now the president of Smithfield Farms. I believe they're headquartered in Germany, but I know that I talk to Derek on a regular basis. We share horror stories, we share success stories, and we talk about what would happen if we did this, or what would happen if we did that, and what did we learn out of that. So he's been a mentor to me since approximately 1992, and I continue to use him to this very day because he's a great sounding board. And he never tells me what to do. He tells me, perhaps you might like to consider this next time.
Oh, so he's very polite.
Very polite, very professional.
Well, Nick, thank you very much for all your advice today.